But one of the parts of a MIWI that I think is really special, and it's probably my favorite part, is the students do an action project, like either civic action or stewardship, where they identify a problem and then they try to do something about it to make the situation better. And one of the types of projects that come up a lot is invasive species removal days. And I was wondering if you have any thoughts about those.
I think would be incredibly useful. So managing invasive species it's very challenging because once they get into an ecosystem, they're really persistent and they're really hard to remove. And in fact, it's often an ongoing thing. So one thing, about invasive species is it's thought that, or it's known that the best way to prevent an invasive species is to prevent it from coming in the first place. Because once it gets here, it's impossible to eradicate, right? It's impossible to completely remove forever. To that end, the next step, if you can't eradicate an invasive species from an area, is what we call maintenance management or long-term control, which means continued effort. And the point there is to continue to remove invasive species to a point where they're likely, or they're at least reducing their effects on native species. And because it's such a big task, I know that there are community efforts to remove invasive species. And I think that's important and almost one of the only ways to sort of get it done. So I think they're incredibly useful. I know there's, garlic mustard is a big invasive, a very common invasive plant in eastern deciduous forests. And I know here at Binghamton University, there's, community efforts to, go out and pull in the garlic mustard. And again, incredibly important because almost the only way to get it done because it's such a big effort. You couldn't do it. You need a community of people to do it because it needs to also happen sort of consistently. All these plants will come back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's almost like there's an unlimited opportunity to do that kind of service work.
There's an unlimited opportunity, and it's important. And again, probably for some invasive species, some of the only ways to get it done. I mean, all invasive species are different. This is, for invasive plants, that's really seems to be one of the a good way to continually manage invasive plants.